Welcome to the Rebound with Coach Matt Doherty.
Today, I have the great pleasure of sitting down with a true pioneer in the world of business and leadership. Horst Schulze is the co-founder of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company and a driving force behind one of the most admired service cultures in the world. His influence has shaped industries and inspired leaders across the globe. Mr. Schulze's book, Excellence Wins, is a powerful read for anyone that wants to drive a high-performing culture in their organization. I highly recommend it. Excellence Wins is available wherever books can be purchased. Let's get on with the show so we can learn and grow. All right, Horst, thank you so much. This is a real honor, pleasure for me. I've been a fan of yours ever since I stayed in my first Ritz-Carlton in Atlanta. I think Peachtree maybe in 1980 when I played basketball at the University of North Carolina. Our coach used to like us to stay in the nicest hotels, and we always stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Atlanta. So take us back to your early days. How did a young boy from Germany become one of the most influential figures in hospitality?
Well, it's funny. I grew up in a small town in Germany. And in fact, when I was 11 years old, I told my parents I want to work in the hotel business. They said, yeah. And we went on, but I kept on begging, crying, threatening, everything. I want to work in the hotel business. Finally, my parents inquired, what do we do here? And well, the best thing, then he starts working in the best hotel possible. And the best hotel of the region was 100 miles away from home.
Oh my God.
So they got me a job there. And I left home when I was 14, lived in the dorm room in the hotel, and started working in the hotel business.
Why the hotel business?
I don't know. There was no nobody. It's crazy. There was not, never been in a hotel. In fact, I had never been in a restaurant before. It was after the war years in a village, nothing. I must have read something about it.
Right.
And so I ended up in the by far the best in the region, a really outstanding hotel. And I was lucky. I have to put that in here because it is my life.
Yes.
First day working there, my mother took me there. Obviously, my dad was working, and the general manager talked to us and said, "Now you are here to learn to become a servant to very important ladies and gentlemen." Well, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Lived in a dorm room with 5 other kids, but then the head waiter talked to me next same day. And that's the guy that I reported to, if you will. And he said 2 sentences which changed my life. I didn't know it at the time. Mind you, 14 years old, went right over my head at the time. And he said, tomorrow, show up at 7 a.m. And he said, now, if I meant 1 minute after 7, I would tell you so. He established what we do is correct and proper and right and exactly. And in that one sentence, I learned that later. And then he said, and don't come to work tomorrow. Come here to create excellence. That confused me as a kid.
Right.
What do you mean? I thought tomorrow I have to wash dishes and clean floors and not do excellence. Well, I had to wash dishes and clean floor excellently.
Yeah.
But it changed my life. In fact, when I left that job 3.5 years later to go and work in Switzerland, the Methodist said again, look me in the eyes, never in life go to work. Create excellence.
Never in life go to work, create excellence. Never in life go to work, create excellence.
Well, he explained it over the years. I understood what he meant with that. He said, work is a function. The chair on which you're sitting is functioning. You are a human being. You should function for a higher intent. He said, you're not a chair.
Right.
You're not a chair. And in fact, he told me when I left, I never got to work. Don't be a chair. Don't become a chair. You're a human being that thinks highly. And from him, I got the expression, I use it. Excellence in life, in everything you do, it's not an accident. It's always the result of high intent and hard work. So it's you're functioning for a high intent, but you're doing it for the high intent, not for the function itself. That was his point.
We could stop the podcast right now, and this would be one of the most valuable lessons. I'm an executive coach, keynote speaker, and I teach and coach. That's my purpose in life. And I'm learning from you and my audience, which is entrepreneurs mainly, and business owners, CEOs, people in leadership positions. If they take away, never in life go to work, create excellence, that just think of the change in the attitudes and the cultures of all these organizations. And the thing that I talk about, and I've written it down and I've discussed it many times, I call it the organizational triangle, where every organization is made up of, if I could show that, talent, systems, and culture, with talent at the top, systems and culture. And the better systems, the better culture, the better your talent will perform.
Sure.
The tough thing, people, they have a hard time grasping culture because they don't get the immediate return, right? They want a behavior, and they want an immediate return. You know, culture is a longer term return, I guess. How intentional were you? Well, talk about culture. Talk about culture.
Well, the culture is the overall belief of the organization. What's the overall philosophy, belief of the organization? That is the culture, which certainly is driven by leadership. And in a way, there is an immorality in companies. Please forgive me, people. There is an immorality because we don't hire people to join who we are. Again, we hire them to fulfill a function. Rather than joining us in who we want to be, our vision, and be part, that means join us for an objective. That's the vision. And be part of who we are. That's our culture. Be part of who we are. Now, here, the crazy thing is, though, we hire them just to fulfill a function.
Yes.
In hotel business, to be a waiter, to make room. Those are functions.
Right.
I hire you to be part. And here's the crazy thing. We know for thousands of years, Aristotle, that people need purpose and belonging. But we don't give them purpose and belonging. That's why I said that's an immorality right there. The immorality is I'm putting you in here to just fulfill the function, just like the chair on which we're sitting, rather than allowing you to be part of a higher thinking.
OMJ Clothing is an elite men's clothing store that provides a vast array of spectacular brands of men's lifestyle apparel for every day. Elevate your business upscale casual at OMJ. Success comes from standing out. So people need purpose, and what was the second part?
Belonging.
And belonging.
I want to be part of something.
Right. Wow. And that's Aristotle.
Aristotle, yeah. And in fact, listen, there was a survey done about, it's a while back, it's about 20 years back, of 3 million workers, US and Western Europe. A lot of universities were involved. And the question was, what ideally would you want from your job? And everybody thought money would be the answer.
Right.
Money came in number 6. And number 1 was belonging.
Right.
People want to be part of that. Why do kids join gangs? Because they want to belong.
Right.
And why would we ignore that as businesses? I don't understand it.
Right.
And
how do you like, let's talk now. A listener, a viewer of this show runs a car wash. Okay.
Yeah.
And needs young people to operate the car wash and then, wipe
Got it.
off the car at the end. How would you tell them to attract young people to be for
Okay,
their
got it.
purpose and belonging?
Okay, I would say, join me. Join me. We're going to wash car, but that's not what I'm hiring you. I'm hiring you so that we together define ourselves as the nicest people in the city.
Yes.
And the most efficient, and so that we will create an image so that where we all will be respected because we work for this car wash. We work for the HS car wash.
Right.
And we are going to be what does that mean? What that means, we're going to be friendlier, more efficient, cleaner, and faster than anybody else. So that when they leave here and say, wow, those are special people, that means in what we're doing, we're not just doing a job, we are defining ourselves. And if for some reason we look for another job one day and we say we work for HS, they know immediately that we are special people. So we are working here for a dream. Incidentally, we wash cars better than anybody else, but that's just the thing we do. But the real thing we're doing, we're defining ourselves as somebody special. Bang.
I love this stuff, man. This is really cool. I'm getting goosebumps. I'll come wash cars for you. The thing that I say is that when you can align your purpose with your job, that's when the magic happens. So how do you, okay, I'm a teacher and a coach. You figure that out. I'm a young man. But I like to teach and coach. I like to lead. You're hiring me for your car wash. How can I fulfill my purpose through HS Car Wash?
Clearly, you're going to be part. That means being part. We're teaching you. That's what we do in Ritz-Carlton, for example. We have, or in Capella, which is, by the way, a fine hotel company today, and it's voted #1 in the world, which is the company I created after Ritz-Carlton. I would make it clear to you. You will be part of our culture, and you will learn life and culture. What we will do every morning, we will establish. I would establish what are the 20 non-negotiable things that we have to do in this car wash. I will tell from 1 to 20. Like in Ritz-Carlton, we established the 20 things that will make us #1 in the world. One thing was number 16. If a guest asks for direction, don't point, take him there. And we taught them how to have a nice conversation on the way to create a relationship. So that is number 16, which you learn today. But at the same time today, in this car wash, we share with you, we'll tell you today what is new in the company. After all, you're part. We just hired 2 more people. We are planning to open another car wash in Chattanooga. And I'm telling you what's going on. After all, you're part. And I will tell you what is new otherwise. Bill got promoted. Remember, he's now a supervisor. He started 2 years ago as a car washer. And here's why he got promoted. And then what else is new in the company? Joni Joni, she worked there. She has a baby. We meet together for 10 minutes every day before you work. We remind you of the non-negotiable, which is number 16 today. And we tell you, we let you be part. And we may have some customer feedback. We may have a letter. We read that for everybody. Go to bed. We make sure that you feel part. You see, and that communication. Now, what did we do in Ritz-Carlton? Because mind you, we were in 5 continents. Today, hypothetically, I don't know what's today, but it's just given speech. Today, we discussed the same non-negotiable, maybe number 16, if somebody asks for direction.
Right.
In every hotel, we tell the same news of the company. We just signed a contract for a new hotel in Shanghai. Every employee will find out, dishwasher or not, because after all, you're part of the company. You deserve to know.
Right.
And we read a letter, feedback letter from a guest. Or we give you a news like in every hotel, Jorge in Cancun just got promoted to dishwasher. He started to food and beverage director. He started 8 years ago as a dishwasher. Now we share that.
Oh yeah.
So with other words, the same discussion takes place in every hotel around the world, in Africa, in Japan, in Berlin, in Shanghai, in Bali, in Philadelphia. With other words, I make sure the same conversation takes care in every hotel. If the same conversation takes care, I have the same culture.
Yeah, it's so cool. I remember reading about the fundamentals, I think, were they called? And
non-negotiable or gold standards. Yeah.
Yeah, gold standards, and everyone would have a little like Z pocket with that on there. And after I read your book, I was in Atlanta for a wedding, and I went by the Ritz-Carlton. I told my family, let's go to Ritz-Carlton for brunch, and I want to talk to the manager. So I walked in, I went to the manager. I said, excuse me, what is the standard of the non-negotiable of the day? And yeah. He took out his card. He told me. Yeah, he told me. And I'm getting goosebumps now. So, you know, that, and he did it with pride. And I use the standard, you know, Disney does this to some degree, but I noticed it Ritz-Carlton. Excuse me, where's the men's room? And they walk me to the point of where I can see the door. When I'm in that type of situation, I do the same thing. It's habit forming. How did you come up with the 20 non-negotiables? How did you decide that? And who helped you decide that? Then 2, how do you enforce it? How do you hold people accountable?
Yeah, good questions. Number 1, we make it's all customer feedback. For customer feedback, because we make surveys in every hotel every day still. I don't know if they do it today, but every day survey question, what did you like, what didn't you like, how was the check-in, how, and so on. So based on those feedbacks, and I had, in the very beginning, when we started Ritz-Carlton, J.D. Power did a customer market segment customer expectation survey. Mm-hmm. If I am a great company, I know what the customer expects from me. Once in good management, to just know what's the difference between leadership and management, that comes often up. Good management, once I know the expectation, if I'm a good manager, I create processes, systems, measurements, and controls to deliver that expectation.
Right.
A great leader creates an environment where the employees want to do that.
How would a leader get an employee to want to do it? How do you motivate that person to do that?
Yeah, let me answer it a little bit different way and explain. If I walk into a hotel and I see the bartender that I was there 4 weeks ago is not there anymore. I said, where is he? And the manager said, well, it was not good. We let him go. I said, he was not good? Then let me ask you something. Why did you hire him?
Right. Right.
If an employee is not good, it's either you hired the wrong employee, or you oriented them wrong, or you taught them wrong, or you have the wrong work environment. It's you, buddy, not them.
That's right. That's right.
You did it.
I'm my background is college coaching, basketball. And so many coaches would complain about their players. And I'm like, wait a second, you recruited him, you trained him.
There you are.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's you, right? Exactly what you just said, 100%. Yeah.
I can't do anything more about you, but I can do something about me selecting right. So it's really establishing, and here is a key thing that people have to understand and learn, and I don't know why that is so difficult. The behavioral analyst, I worked with the behavioral analysts in University of Colorado and University of Frankfurt. It's all, much of what you want from your employees generally, the question was, how do I get them to do that? Much of what you want from them is the right behavior, be in time, be responsive, help each other, be nice, and so on. While behavior cannot be taught after a person is 60 years old, unless there is a significant emotional event in the person's life.
Yes.
And the interviewing process is a significant emotional event. And all we ask is question, rather than telling them, no, you have to understand, if you come to work from us, you would have to be very friendly. Can you be friendly? I am blending into the behavior being friendly. I have to put give the right behavioral expectation already when I interview.
Yes.
Then the first day of work is another significant emotional event. And let's really say, I like to say that. What happens the first day of work usually? The guy comes to work, the new waiter comes to work, and we tell him the rules and regulation. Right away, here are our rules, here's our handbook, here are regulation, and here's the insurance paper, and here's this, and here's the other, and here. And then, and when we're finished with that, the manager makes his pathetic team speech. We're a team here, blah, blah. Wait a minute. What is a team? You were a coach. A team is a group of people who have a common objective and help each other toward that objective. But we're telling him we're a team without ever giving him the vision and the objective of the company.
Right.
But we're a team. And then when you're finished with that, we say, Bill, the new waiter, work with Fred. He knows the ropes. Suddenly you're in the rope business. and then Bill goes with Fred to the kitchen. And forgive me what I say now, but on the way to the kitchen, Fred tells Bill, this company sucks. That's his orientation. I did the orientation in every new Ritz-Carlton hotel and every takeover. It doesn't matter where it was. And I told them, welcome, you're now part of something. Join me. Remember, we want you to join us in doing something beautiful. Here's who we are. I orientate you. I don't let Fred orient you.
Right.
Here's who we are. And if you don't like it, you will not be happy here. You shouldn't even be here. But let's have fun doing something beautiful together. That was the orientation. Yeah. And in the ongoing hotel, the general manager has to do it.
Right.
I did it in every new hotel, every new Ritz-Carlton, the first 50, no matter where. Shanghai or Berlin or Philadelphia, I did it.
No matter the position, no matter the role in the
all employees, the first day, all employees were in the room. Okay. And then I stayed. All employees, the first day when we started a new hotel or took over. And then I stayed for 2 weeks and helped teaching. I went to the dishwasher for a few minutes and showed them how to wash dishes for 5 minutes. And then the rumor was, Horst washed dishes all week long. 5 minutes.
Yeah, that spreads, right?
Yeah. And
so how do you hold people accountable? Like standard number 16. If somebody doesn't meet that, a lot of people have a problem with holding people accountable.
I don't. You cannot compromise. We cannot compromise. If you have an expectation, if once you start compromising, you just forfeited that. I as a leader own 3 things. I own the vision. I own the standards. And I own the values of the company. I don't let you say what the standard is in our cleanliness or whatever.
Right.
I said that. And then I measure accordingly. And we had every day, we had an outside company call a scientific cross-section of customers in every hotel around the world. and say, how did we do in all those questions? And if there was a problem somewhere, we dug in. Now, I didn't look at all those questions. I only looked at 5 things. I looked at employee satisfaction, and I set an expected standard. Individual customer satisfaction, the economics of the day, future indicator of individual travel and group travel. I knew that every day. When there was a hiccup in customer satisfaction, I called the hotel. Now, my expectation, I looked only at one thing: intent to return, intent to recommend. I expected 92% minimum top box. Top box, 90% minimum. If it was under 92% minimum, I called the general manager and said, hey, John, look into it. Look where it is happening and make accountable. Now, they knew all. If it was staying under 92% for 2 months, and the third month, if it was still under 90%, I moved into a hotel and fixed it.
Yeah.
I moved in and said, general manager, I take your chair now. Move from the desk, is mine. I will correct your hotel. You sit in the corner and watch me doing it. Sorry, I cannot afford. I made a commitment that I will do the best for the investors, for the employee, for the guest, and for society. I cannot compromise this. And 92% is the minimum.
This is gold, by the way. All of it is gold. Your enthusiasm for teaching culture is evident, and I can see why the book is terrific, and you're a great speaker, and that you had so much success at Ritz-Carlton. Hiring. A lot of people listening or watching have a hard time hiring young talent, and especially to a standard. You know, they feel like if somebody can fog a mirror, they got to hire them, right? They need talent. What do you say to them about hiring talent?
We established with an outside company, we established a baseline for every job category. Was by number. Let's say it's 50. And it was very clear in the interview. We knew that company taught us how to interview. Management was interviewed by them. If 50 was not hit, it was a non-hire, no hire. If it was over 50, it was a hire. And I made it very clear, you do not hire if it doesn't hit. That was simple things like the talent and so on and so on. And there were very simple things involved here. For example, a doorman had to be somebody who had outside hobbies, like gardening, because otherwise they will not enjoy being outside all the time by a door, for example. That was, so it was not only, and of course, he would has to be able to be nice to people, first thing, greet people right, and so on. So we hired according for each job, we identified the talent needed in that job, and then hired accordingly. And if they didn't hit that base mark of 50, they were not allowed to be hired. Now, I made that very, very clear, even though the job was open, because that's why you were in a turnover, because you hired the wrong people.
Right.
I rather suffer for a while with an open job.
Right.
Before I put the wrong person into a job. Now, that was in the beginning very difficult, but remember, we in our industry at the time, hotel restaurant, the employee turnover, hold on to your chair, was 120%.
What?
Annually. Yeah, 120%. Now, Ritz-Carlton, we were under 20%. We didn't pay more.
Right.
But we were careful in selecting. We were careful in giving them purpose and belonging.
Yes. Purpose
and so
belonging.
It's not more money.
Purpose and belonging. So somebody starting out, a business owner came to you today, and I'm sure they do. I want to create a great culture. Where do they start?
Well, I would first of all, I always, you start with your purpose. What's your vision? Even when even we talk about leadership. Leadership implies that you have a destination in mind where you lead people to.
That's right.
You have to start there. Where are you going? Who are you?
Right.
What am I joining here?
Right.
Well, that is the fundamental. And the next thing is, what do we have to believe and think if we want to accomplish what we set out here? And that's what you talk about and invite them to join. So from the beginning, you're telling them, here's who we are, join us. We are the culture.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in caring. We believe in helping each other. Here's what we believe. Do you want to do that?
It's very, very fundamental. It's very fundamental. Training, when somebody starts, they get trained up. Talk about continuous training, because I feel like my background being coaching basketball, you don't just have one practice and then assume that the person is going to be prepared for a game 5 months later. You need to continue to practice, ongoing training and development. How did you incorporate that into Ritz-Carlton?
First of all, we had our 20 non-negotiables, okay?
Right.
We taught them when you came to work, the second day of work, we taught those 20 non-negotiables. They were very, very important. We knew if we do this better than anybody else, we will be number one in the world. So we taught you, every employee that started the second day of work, they learned those 20 points. Then every day we repeat one of those points, no matter what. Every shift, mind you, we are 24-hour business.
Right.
Every shift today, again, is number 16. Tomorrow 17, tomorrow next day 18, and in 20 days we repeat number 16 again. So that is the teaching of the 20 non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, after a while I learned that the hotels weren't doing it. So why weren't you doing it? Well, everybody knows it. Wait a minute. Everybody knows Coca-Cola, yet they spend $1 billion of advertising. Why? To keep it front of mind.
Right.
Keep it front of mind. Why wouldn't we keep front of mind what makes us the best in the world, for crying out loud? So I made it very clear, general managers, if you don't do it in your hotel, I will fire you. I cannot compromise. So that's one part of it. The other teaching is every job category, we wrote a certification. So room service, we have a clear certification which we teach before when you start working. We pay you salary, and as soon as you pass this teaching, this certification 100%, you get to the next level of salary.
Wow.
That may be after 5 days.
Right.
But you have to pass 100%. If you pass 99%, do it again until you have 100%.
Right.
So
you almost have a university, like Ritz-Carlton University.
Each job category, we have a different certification. Now, if you are the room service waiter and you're certified as room service, you can, if you wish, certify yourself as the concierge. Certify yourself. You can pass. You can go and study it and do it. There's several. I knew several employees here in the hotel next door. They're certified in 5, 6, 7 different jobs. So when human resource needs somebody in a different job, they go to those who are certified. Do you wish to work over here?
Yes.
So ongoing teaching.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What question, I could go on and on, Horst. We might have to have a part 2 someday. What question didn't I ask you that I should have asked you?
I don't know. Oh, that's a good one. I probably remember that afterwards. So that's a good one. I never got that question before. No, I don't know. It is. I would just urge that everybody in their life, and I don't. what is excellence? Because we have the book Excellence, and by the way, I just had a guy called me. That is a very unusual one. He got into the plane just a few months ago. He got into the plane, and a friend of him gave him my book. He said, he called me, he said, I had no interest to read it, but I got bored flying to Seattle from Miami. So I started reading and I finished it. And guess what? I just landed and I ordered 5,000 for all my employees.
5,000.
5,000 each one employee. And that happened. So it's very successful. But so and the book is Excellence Wins. What is excellence? There again, excellence is not an accident. It's the result of high intent, again, and hard work. But you have to, because it's your decision of high intent, and your destiny is your decisions that you make.
Mm-hmm.
It's not luck. Everybody everybody tries to blame society or somebody. No, it's your decision that creates your excellence. If your decision, like today, is to riot in Los Angeles, that's your decision. It's not what other people did. You made a decision to riot.
That's right.
Even though others did something, that doesn't make a difference. You made a decision. It's your decision that determined your destiny. Period. Start looking at other people. It's yours. You define yourself. So if you make a decision to define yourself at excellence, you will have excellence and you will win.
Horst, thank you for joining us today and sharing on the Rebound. So powerful. I love your enthusiasm for teaching and sharing. Yeah. And to the audience, I highly recommend that you connect with Mr. Schulze on his website, HorstSchulze.com. That's HorstSchulze.com, and purchase his book, Excellence Wins. It can be available wherever books can be purchased.
Amazon is easy. It's easy.
Leadership is a learned behavior. We all lead in some way, shape, or form. We all deal with adversity. And when you do, I challenge you to rebound. I challenge you to learn and grow. If you'd like to contact me about executive coaching, workshops, or giving a keynote talk, you can reach me at dohertycoaching.com. That's DOHERTY coaching.com. Thanks for tuning in.